You could.
Cool. So yeah, like, what are your thoughts on the emails and any info on the company that you've done so far?
So far, yeah, what we spoke about looks great. I'm very interested. Angie was excellent. She was really great. The email, I'm having trouble connecting to the links in there. It says the references, no problem. It's the other ones. Let's see. The agreement. Let's see if I could get in there now. The agreement, it says the owner will receive an email notification for the person requesting this access. So
Okay.
I requested access, but the link is allowing me to request access. So I can't actually get in to see.
Let me see which one you're talking about.
Okay.
I see share request. Okay. So yeah, I see what you're dealing with, and I just requested to give you access.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is what I was intending to share with you.
Yes.
Yeah, so you didn't see this, unfortunately. So basically, what this agreement says is you're investing into helping us scale the trucking saving consulting campaigns. We would return a lump sum on the agreed date. You get bi-weekly reports on the status of your campaign from us. And basically, I just gave you options on what the type of return I could give you based upon how much you invested,
Right.
and the amount of time it would take. And then I also gave you, I sent out a proposal for $1 million to one company, or if you wanted to be even more involved with us, where instead of just giving you a fixed return, I could give you 33% of what we generate for 3 years through one of these sites. So that's up to you. But before we go into like what the deal it is, I'm happy to answer any questions about like the company and like how the revenue is generated in the first place.
Yeah, that would be great to clear that up. Right?
Yeah, so like why don't we do the visuals? The best way is to do the slide deck.
Okay.
And basically, man, my story is like, this is me in New York. I was working at a financing firm on Wall Street. Stopped working with them. They were no good crooks. Then I started fundraising for a tech startup. And I went from New York to the Philippines, and I was raising $800,000 for these solar Wi-Fi towers. That's why I got really good at pitching investors and creating content. That didn't work out. I moved back home at the age of like 27, and I started selling Amazon stores. This is me and my mom's air mattress, and I started selling stores. And the first investor that bought from me, I convinced him to help me build the website, alldoneconsulting.com. So instead of me calling up with like a sheet of leads like this and like trying to sell a store, I actually finally had a real company where I could say, hey, Carmine, check out my website. Like this is what it is that I do. And once I had that website, that's when I started making real income. So the first company I started working with, I did about 300,000 in 100 days revenue. Then with Shopify, this guy, he hired me. He was looking for a client for his service where he sets up a Shopify business for $20,000. So he paid me $10,000, and in 120 days, we produced him about $400,000 in revenue. Now, I want to show you what it is that I do to produce that.
Okay.
So this is my portfolio of websites. So remember the Amazon one. What I do, all I've ever done is I just use like these Google Sheets where I explain the business, just like I was taking you through telling my story. This was like the original sheet that I used to sell my Amazon stores.
Okay.
And I'd be like, how does it work? You set up the Amazon store. Here are the steps. What do I get? Right. So the first store I was selling was $7,000. And I say, here are the steps. And I say, here are the examples of the stores. And I ask for payment. Right. That's how I got the first 16 clients. Then I did the same process for Shopify. He paid me $10K. He's like, I want this done for me. And I was like, cool, I'll do the same thing. So I made this deck and I explained how it worked. And we took him through the process, right? And then what we do is we make a letter. So this is me like typing up the letter, and then I send the letter to my website guy, and he puts it on the site. So just like I did that for Shopify, we just did that for trucking.
Right.
You see how like it's a templated process. Like I do the same thing over and over again, right? So I write the sheet, I write this like Google sheet, we put it on the site, then I make the deck, and then I make a video going through it. So here's the video, the same video that I used for the Shopify. As you see, I did it August 13th, 2020, generated 80 views, and I just made $300,000 with 80 views.
Oh,
right?
wow, that's
So,
great. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The reason for that is because I'm sending it to people like no social media, no traffic. If you look at my YouTube channel, I don't get any traffic. I get 130 subscribers. If you look at any of my videos, I get like 23 views. I get 32 views, 27 views. But you saw my bank statements. The last 6 months I've averaged 190,000 in revenue. So.
Oh yeah, that's one more thing I couldn't access for some reason. Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a similar message.
Well, the statements I can, like I said,
Okay.
I can email these to you. You can see my statements.
Okay.
There's nothing to hide for that. I'm gonna make a video for it, but that's basically the process. Like I said, so with the Shopify guy, he said he gave me 10,000 to like buy the lead. Let me show you where the lead, like what that process is as well. So we just go to Franchise Opportunity Network. That's like where we found you, and like every day we have leads coming in for the new trucking offer, and it's like, hey, I'm Emmanuel. Here's $50,000. Mine, pitch, right? And like I said, I've done this 100 times, and I've gotten these people, right? So Drew, he's got 150 to spend. Roberts, and he's got 100 to spend, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm asking for the money for, is to like do what's already working, and then we want to get more people to these videos so that they schedule calls.
Right.
So just keep going through my story. Right, I did the Shopify, then I went to Uber and Airbnb. This is how much I spent: about $5,000 for the website, $3,000 for the listing, the leads. And in 100 days, I did 300,000 in revenue. And when I was the sales guy, I made $50K in 100 days. And to this guy right here, making $50K in 100 days.
Hi.
So I'm trying to show you the two sides of the thing. It's like that's how much I was making. I was a sales guy. I made $50K in 100 days. But you and I, we want this, right?
Yeah.
We want this, right? We spent $5K. Make 300K. So
wow.
The way there's two sides of it is we get this side, but then I get 20 people like Jabali to be like, Jabali, you want to make 50K in 100 days? Come work for us.
Right.
So
yeah.
Sell that dream, right? So that's why I say when someone gives me 25K, you 5x these results. That's 1.2 million. If you give me 250K, that's what is it like? 12x, 10x of those results. That's why when I ask for an investment, that's how we can scale. So I did the same thing for Bitcoin. In 16 days, I raised 132,000, and that's when I really started to. The light bulb kind of clicked in my head. I was like, man, I should be getting this, not this.
Right.
I started making the Facebook group. This one's not updated. That slide. But since June 21st, we have done, it's been 574,000 since June 21st. And now, like my pitch to those original investors was like, guys, I know where the money's, like I know how to raise the money. The problem is I've been sending the money away. Give the money to me and then I'll find the business for you. And that's when we started getting into the trucking, we started getting into the YouTube and so on and so forth.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's basically where we are. That's the story of the company. And then, like I said, so I was pitching people, and I was saying, like, look, I've been successful as a broker, but what I want to do is create this into a software company. And there's nowhere on the planet where this product exists. The idea of it is my investors log into an app where it's like a social media feed for all of my buyers. So I want to show you the Facebook group that I created and why it's been working. One moment. So in this group, what I do is I provide complete transparency on what we are up to. So I post company meetings, who we're hiring, how much we're spending on marketing. I post examples of the training programs that I'm putting together. I post examples of successful calls, and I'll be like, see, this is why Frank wants to buy into our trucking fleet. This is the problem I'm solving. This is why there's 1,000 other Franks who want to go through the exact same presentation as me, right? So since I've made this Facebook group, we, like I said, have done over 600,000, and we have a spreadsheet of references. We have people like Angie who will post in the group and be like, "This is why I put 100K into the company. Here's my number. Give me a call."
Right.
Right. So all of these things I never had when I was grinding here. I did not have that. I did not have references. I did not have case studies for this either. Right. So I've already shown you here. I did a 10 to 387 without the references, without the app, without the case studies. So now it's like game over, man. Like I'm collecting payment when I get off the phone. Like that's why I'm like I don't even take calls anymore unless it's like a specific meeting.
Right.
And then what we're looking to do is we're looking to develop an app where I replicate what we created with that Facebook group, but it's only for the buyers. And now the buyers can see in real time everything that I'm working on. They can see the profit and loss of my business. They can see the profit and loss of any of the companies that I'm promoting. If that's Amazon, Shopify, YouTube, they can see the profit and loss of the individual business that they have. And then they can go to 3, the provider portal. They can log in and buy the business. So my biggest problem has not been getting people to invest. My biggest problem has been I get someone to invest and then I send the money to a company and they fuck off, they don't deliver. So that's why we're creating this app to protect the investor and to protect me, the company, because now the investor has to communicate with that third party directly through the app. And then all communication is immediately uploaded to a cloud and it's provided to all the investors. So if company B takes the money and doesn't deliver, we're like, company B, get the hell out of here. We've got 30 investors that want to get started.
Oh.
Companies C, and A are obviously going to take the money. This is their track record, and this is why my investors want to get started. So it's just the idea of the app is to create complete transparency and platform where buyers can be connected to sellers, where it protects the buyer, protects me, and it makes it significantly easier to find good companies that want fundraising and actually could deliver. So like the whole idea of the app is to like document everything, hide nothing. And then finally, Facebook, like basically a profile where you say, like, hey, Carmine, where are you located? What city are you in? What businesses are you working on? What do you study? What type of people do you want to be connected to? And then there's another customer service agent that follows up and helps deliver those connections to you. So like that's the idea of the app, is to create a network of buyers, providers, consultants, and deliver them exactly what they're looking for. So that's just like for the buyers. There's 8 different portals for the app where I can help the consultant. So for example, Jabali, this app, they're going to be able to log in. He's going to be able to see all of his investor leads. He can see his appointments. He's going to see the pipeline, how far they're along, the communication. And then I can also upload all of my training programs to that app so he can just listen in while he's driving anywhere in the world. Also, I can upload any of the case studies from any of the different businesses. So he could be on his phone, like on the train, he can be like, here's the P&Ls of one of our companies, sir. Like he can forward it via text message to the investor. So like the whole idea of the app is to make it easier for him to do his job, makes it easier to raise money for anything. And then like I can keep going on, but there's 8 different portals that automate my ability to help my market. So I can also automate how I help my copywriters. So they can upload the content and they can go to my website and they can, so if you look at my blog, I have like 40, 50 different blogs explaining the story and why you should join my Facebook group and schedule a free consultation with me. So the idea of my consulting training is to get hundreds of copywriters to be able to replicate my proven process, and now they're creating their own website to attract investors to their site that can, and then those investors can be sent to different consultants. Right. So like I said, the app is designed to automate my to help my market. So for example, the company that I'm fundraising for, they're able to log in and see how many investors have clicked on their site, how much money has been raised. Here are the pending contracts. Do they want to even take on more contracts, and so on and so forth. And then we also will be using all this data to host private events. That'll be a specific business that we can create revenue for that's completely non-investor money, right? So we can take, I can use the app and I can contact all my investors, all the salespeople, all the writers, all my marketers, all the companies that be fundraising for. And I can be like, hey, we're having a private mastermind, private party. There's 250 people allowed. The tickets are $500. And we're going to go over this. There's going to be a fundraising presentation and so on and so forth. Or we can expand it. We can make it a concert. We can use investors' money and be like, hey, we're going to have Lil Wayne and Drake hosting this event. And then there's a private mastermind that you can go to. We've got 3,000 tickets available. This is the cost of the tickets. This is the cost of the bottle service. This is the cost of the hotel, parking, yada, yada, yada. And all that data is transparently documented on the app. And then I can use that data and give it to an investor like you and be like, hey, Carmine, I spent $400,000 at this party and I made $3 million over the weekend. And here's all the people that I collected. And let's do that again. And
Right.
I can email all the investors and be like, hey, I've got 4 events planned for the next 3 years. Who wants to get in on it? This is a limited time offer. And I can just I think you're starting to see that I'm just collecting data and raising money at that point, right?
Yeah.
And now you see there's a free app for us. So if you're broke, you can't buy any of my business, you can't buy the course. You can get all this free information. You can check out my blog. You can apply for a job and submit your resume.
Oh,
and
wow.
If it's like, you know what I mean? If it's a job that I can't provide, now it's just like I could be a recruiting company, right? And we could be like, hey, there's this many people that want a sales job, and I can just send it to a recruiter, and that recruiter can pay us for collecting that data.
So this really looks like it's all coming from your mind. To your knowledge, what is there out there that is even comparable to this? Is there anything?
It doesn't exist.
I didn't think so.
I'm trying to patent it. Like I said,
You should, yeah.
It's just coming from, I've made thousands of calls to investors, and how do I make it comfortable to the investor? How do I make it easier for my sales guy? How do I make it easier to raise money for the company that wants money? And it's the ADC automation app. Like I said, this product does not exist. And we have a great business model without this app. This app is what brings it out.
Right.
I just need to get it done. So, like I said, that's like my nail on the hook point. Like, we could have just been like, I could have just used my website to send money for the trucking industry and made a lot of money. But when you add that app, like you said, man, like there really isn't a limit. The whole idea of it is I want to be able to have the next startup founder who has a brilliant idea. He has a patent. He has no idea how to get funding. He can come work for us and get his project funded. We can be like, hey, this is how you create your pitch deck. This is how you call an investor. This is how much it costs to get an investor on the phone with you. And if you want us to just raise money for you, we can just take equity and we can do it for you. Like eventually, we're going to be the VC. We're going to be the incubator.
That's great. Yeah, that is very innovative. It's really sounds
Thank you so
good.
much. I really appreciate that. And like I said, this is basically, so like I said, these are all the websites that we've done earlier: Amazon, Shopify, Walmart, Uber, Airbnb. Everything is templated, right? So the same thing with anytime I come up with a new idea, all I do is I write the letter. So like, this is an example of something that's not done yet, right? So this is the letter to sell the event business, and then I send this letter, and then in a week or so, it'll be on the site, and we can start pushing it, just like we have trucking, the YouTube, and everything else.
Right.
So what I'm looking for is I want to just keep adding funnels, man. So I can, we can do tour automation, we can do Airbnb, we can do fix and flips, we can do business acquisitions. It doesn't really matter. It's like I can get investor capital and I can just direct it, and that app is going to make it significantly easier for us to do it.
Right. And traceable and trackable.
Yeah. So that's basically the presentation of the company. Yeah, we're working hard, working fast. Like basically what I'm looking to do is I want to get like 5,000 investors for this trucking. I want 5,000 investors for this YouTube. And then the final thing is next, once we have the lead for that, then we launch the consulting program where I basically recruiting people like Jabali to pay me to work for me. Just like, so if you want to be a real estate agent, you have to pay $1,000 to become an agent, to get a license. You have to pay to become an insurance agent. We could do the same thing. We could charge and be like, hey, do you want access to my proprietary portfolio where I can teach you how I did 6 figures in Amazon, how I did 6 figures in Shopify, 6 figures in Uber, Airbnb, 6 figures in trucking and YouTube, right? I can teach you exactly how to do that. I can teach you where to get the leads. I can help you build up your own personal website where investors come to you, just like they come to me, right? And then we charge them $5,000. That $5,000 is directly into leads. And we're so confident that I can turn that $5,000 into more money that I'm giving a 6-month money back guarantee for that training. So it's like, hey, you're going to come work for me. You pay for this these leads. You get all the videos, you learn everything that I'm doing. If you don't close in 6 months, I'll give you the 5K back. So I'm going to flip it and I'm going to make money. And honestly, if you can't close it, I don't want you.
Right.
And like, so that's the idea is like, here's the outline training program that I'm taking Jabali through right now. And like I said, my goal is to just get hundreds of consultants to do what I've already done successfully. So the week one is like mindset of a fundraiser, my healthy habits, how I perform, how I structure my work, my mindset mentors, my sales mentors, how to create your sales story. And then this is breaking down all the different offers that we have, how to sell the app, how to sell YouTube, how to sell trucking, how to sell the coaching consulting, how to sell to get companies that need fundraising to buy into our service. And then there's the structure on how we do it. So there's a 4-step process to close it. Close the one, the opening pitch. We're like, hey, I saw you click with the ad. What are you interested in? We send you the email. Then we have to qualify. We have to find out, do you have the money? Yes or no. Then we have to book you to this video call, right? We take you to the presentation, and then finally the insurance call, right? I send you the contract, and then we follow up with like, hey, did you read the contract? Did you see the bank statement? Did you speak to my references, right? So like, that's the whole idea is that if I get 100 people to go through this process to know what I already know how to do, then at that point, now we're just going to companies like, hey, do you guys need funding? We've got 100 consultants that are on the phone calling. We've got 5,000 investors that love our brand and are willing to give their money to do whatever we want. You pay us, and we're going to direct that funnel to you. It's all done.
Okay.
So you see, like how, like I said, you give me $250,000, I'm flipping that to millions and millions and millions. And in terms of how much money you want to make, like I said, I can give you that 100% in 6 months. If you want something a little bit more long term, I'm open. Just let me know what you think. And then really, like I said, we're just looking to, I want to spend 100K like tomorrow in the marketing. And, because we want to just have more points in, and we want to just scale this thing, man. So
I get it.
Any question, like basically like her thing. For me, like, cause right now what I'm doing is like, I've been training. And I'm showing them, I'm like, hey guys, this is how you call an old lead that applied from January. Like, I still, to this day, can call someone that applied like 2 years ago and get them to invest. However, I just don't want to do it anymore, right? I want people to do that for me, and then me just educating them. You have the sales floor like the Wolf of Wall Street, and directing that. So that's basically where we are. Happy to answer any questions, sir.
Sure. The app is, how far is it from actually launching, or is it launched already? What?
Do you know how to get into the Bitrix process? Do you know how to get into the Bitrix?
No.
So the app, we will be populating into the beta version within a week.
Oh.
The mobile app, however, might take. It sounds like 4 to 2 months, but obviously, like if we had another investment like yours with like 100K, 200K, we could get the app done faster. It's just I've been investing into the business, but the sales, not like I've only spent 6,000 on the app so far. It probably needs another like 20, 30,000 to like get it done faster.
Right. Okay. All right. Now, as far as the list of references you send me, I didn't contact any yet. However, I did speak to Angie. What now, are they investors? Are they part of your team? Are they a little of both?
Yeah, those are investors. And Angie was one of the few ones that decided, like, she saw the bigger picture. She wanted to be part of the team. But those are just people that just put money in and trust me. Like I said, you could call, like, some of those people on the list have been following me for 2-3 years.
Right. Okay.
And they just know, like, those are the people I called them. I said, guys, why don't we all put our money together and do something? And they knew, because they could see that I've been following up with them for years. They knew I had those relationships, and that's why we decided to run the April round. Okay,
excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, you really spelled it out very well. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I like what I hear. Yeah, just release the that stuff I didn't get the access to, the agreement and the financials. Yeah, let me review that, and let's turn this around quickly.
Got it. So I'll put this to the top of your inbox and also send it to you via PDF.
Okay.
But then like I said, man, how much you want to put in is up to you. Honestly, 250 would allow us to just put rock fuel in this business for sure and just knock it out of the park. I said 9 months, but realistically, I could do it in 6 months. I'm willing to work with you, man. Just let me know what type of money you want to make, and we can make this thing happen.
Okay, okay, it looks tempting. Okay. All right. Yeah, so let me review everything and sure, like I said, I'll turn this around quickly.
Okay.
I'll get
Well,
back
yeah,
there.
I'll send you the statement. I'll send you this agreement, and then I'll shoot you like a custom video just summarizing everything that I did in like 5 minutes to see if you can have a clear understanding of where we are. And when would be a good time for us to follow up for a video call to see if you decide to be a part of it or not?
Let's try, let's see, let me think, let me look at my calendar for next week here. Let's see. Okay, we got, how about, what's today? Tuesday at 2 o'clock, okay?
Tuesday at 2 o'clock, is that Eastern?
Yeah,
Yep, sounds good. I'll put that on the calendar, and I'll send you an email in the next like 10-15 minutes with summarizing everything. And yeah, man, looking forward to talking to you soon.
oh, absolutely. So am I. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure, Ryan. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, man. Looking forward to working with you, man.
You too.
All done.
All right, take care. All right.